somebody stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
Season off by starting your first game.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, fourth-year quarterback Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. They face off with Ryan Tannehill and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. In Florida, a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Benny Logan in there on the tackle. On second down, it's Drake. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On first down, Drake. That hill running right through it. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They find some open field here. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, 52 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. From the gun, Mariota. He finds Taylor, complete. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Kiko Alonso. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep, Danny Amendola. That's taken it around the 40. Whoosh. Still going. They can't stop him. So we've reached halftime here on opening week. All right, we will save the week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And a big-time mess on the return. He's out of bounds. He won't even get this back to the 5-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, that's Lewis. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He's back to throw. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field, but guess what? This one's now just about over.
And out come the Dolphins now. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Throwing now, Tannehill. Over the middle, it's Amendola. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Tannehill. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Tannehill. He goes underneath to Drake. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Tannehill now to throw. Tannehill's first touchdown pass in over a year. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp. And
I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well. Protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
30!
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Should have DB. You want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. A first down throw for Mariota. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Tannehill going to throw it. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And what are the whistles for? A timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs.
Time to finally raise a Super Bowl banner in Philadelphia. I'm the coach, and this is the return of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, we kick off the new season with the return of Carson Wentz, ready to go in Week 1 as the Super Bowl champion Eagles take on the new $100 million man, Matt Ryan, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the weekend. But for now, let's get to Philly and say hello for the first time to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago where the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The exhibition season is over. It's time to play for real as the 2018 NFL season is underway. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he didn't turn it into much more.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, Ryan. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Second and 10 now. Ryan got a man. It's the first NFL catch for Calvin Ridley. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And that is incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to...
Darren Sproles, 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Sproles, as the first half is winding down, and the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. So they gave up the field goal, but boom, they get it right back. Don't even worry about getting their offense on the field. They return it on the kickoff.
So I see your 3 points.
And raise you.
And raise you 6. Double it up, coming right back at them. And if that's going to be the trade all game long, someone's going to be very happy with the end result.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And so it was a little bit of a shorter kick. He caught it at the 10, and then he was able to take off, go the rest of the way 90 yards to the other end zone for the kick return touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Falcons offense, Charles, heading back out there, coming off a 10-6 season, made the playoffs again. But coming off the previous season when they blew that Super Bowl to the Patriots, I think a lot of folks were expecting more in 2017. So now, Charlie Page, what can we expect this year?
They want to return to explosiveness on offense. I mean, that's what they've got to get to. You mentioned 2016. They rolled up points like crazy. Absolutely obliterated people on the offensive side of the ball. They want to get back to that. Get Julio Jones, get him sprung free again. But they drafted Calvin Ridley out of Alabama to help with that. All right, they can run the football, obviously, with Devontae Freeman. On the defensive side, the mantra is speed, speed, speed. They want to get Vic Beasley back chasing the quarterback where he led the league in sacks 2 seasons ago.
Okay, Brandon, joining the crew this year. We'll get back to you guys in Philly in just a moment. But first, let's look ahead to opening weekend right here in 2018. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. As for the 4 o'clock game, some good ones there as well. One being in Charlotte, where it'll be the Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a good one to kick off the year. Matt Nagy's debut as Bears head coach comes in Lambeau against the Packers. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Gotti and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Now a play fake. Wentz fights loose. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So, boy, that's already the third they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. Throwing on first is Wentz. Being chased out left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
He may try and run for this. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. And welcome back. We are in the city of Brother. This is a giant. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to run with Ajayi. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable but do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And his guys are going to take their own 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Wentz to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
who
had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Eagles, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they go down to defeat
The Kirk Cousins era begins in Minnesota. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Minnesota Vikings with a new man at the helm, looking to build on a terrific season from a year ago, as they'll face undefeated starter Jimmy Garoppolo and the resurgent San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with a look around the early games and head to Minneapolis. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man making his first start in purple. The big offseason signing from Washington. It's Kirk Cousins.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24-23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle against one of the best defense in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Cousins now on second down. His throw incomplete. Very solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. He was a third-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the third. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. From the gun, here's Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. The speedster, Dante Pettis, back deep to return. Garoppolo on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gould now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. Fights him off. And now the spin. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Garoppolo now, first down throw. He's going to fire one. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Pierre Garçon, 71 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Cousins now to throw on first down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a hit.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down. They'll throw again. Cousins. For Kirk Cousins, it's his first touchdown pass as a Minnesota Viking, as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They had the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
Back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's second down. So he was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he's brought down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Garoppolo looking to throw. Over the middle to Garcon. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Back to throw, Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? To throw is Garoppolo. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gold now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the 49ers, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sport.
Saquon Barkley, welcome to the NFL. It's the coach. You're tuned into Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Giants fans will see the debut of their dynamic new runner, number 2 overall pick, Saquon Barkley, as the New York Giants are in for a test, facing one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the early games. Let's get you back up to MetLife Stadium. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Bortles now on first down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. They are, however, facing a fourth down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. Back deep is Kalen Clay. Fielded at about the 28. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Manning now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Manning to throw on second down. Fighting through pressure. Buying time to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Throwing is Manning on third down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On first down, Manning. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard. Just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. To return, it's Kalen Clay. A second night. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20. Touchdown, Giants. In for the score. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Looking long for Westbrook. They've got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Bortles to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. To throw is Bortles. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw, Bortles. And his throw is incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Throwing is Bortles. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Bortles got to have this one. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Now the first NFL carry for Saquon Barkley. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30, 10. Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes our score 17-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Giants, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Giants are winners as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.
The Sam Darnold era begins now. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, it's number 3 overall pick, Sam Darnold, who gets a start on opening night as his Jets get set for a tough one on the road against the Detroit Lions. I'll talk to you again at halftime. We'll look back at games from yesterday. But first, it's up to Ford Field. Standing by, here are Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the New York Jets. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Andre Roberts now to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. All eyes set on Sam Darnold. Of course, he played college ball at USC and now making his first start in the National Football League.
And remember, the Jets traded up to number 3. They traded with Indianapolis to get in that spot, but they weren't assured of getting Sam Darnold. And then the draft board fell exactly the way they wanted. They got the guy they wanted in Sam Darnold. And the Jets, who haven't made the playoffs since 2010, when they were led by another USC quarterback named Mark Sanchez, hoping for the same effect from this young rookie out of USC.
Darnold on first down. And incomplete to open things up. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw is Darnold. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now it's Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Darnold from the red zone now. Flush under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Dumps off to Powell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll lead here to a third down. Play action. It's Darnold. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you.
That there, the first NFL touchdown pass for Sam Darnold. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
And he's got to absolutely be sky high right now. The first touchdown pass in the NFL. The first of what should be many, many more. But 57 of them in 2 seasons as a starter at USC. None as sweet as that one right there for Sam Darnold. Hello, NFL. I'm here.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Avery Williamson not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the Windy City of Chicago, and those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's been the rookie Sam Darnold who's shown he's NFL ready. His guys have the lead as we get you back up to Ford Field in Detroit and hand it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
throwing on third down. Stafford out to the right here to Wilson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. He'll look to throw. Catch made right side by Wilson. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call the timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
Darnold now to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Now Myers for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Darren Lee in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Putting it here to Marvin Jones. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. On first down, Stafford here. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The tight end Luke Wilson was the target. And it's second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's third down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Tate's got it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, So special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.